Hey there, I want to ask you about something. Where does creativity come from? What kinds of people are creative? How can we develop our creative skills? What is creativity? In what ways are you creative? Creativity is not what you might think it is. Most of us misunderstand creativity. We have the idea that creativity is something that you have or don't have, like red hair or a trust fund. However, creativity is a skill that can be learned and developed, like any other. That's good news because creativity has become one of the most in-demand skills in our economy. And it's not just in demand in creative careers like graphic design. It's an in-demand skill in the career that you're working towards right now, and becoming more so. Creativity is a natural human faculty. But we have all sorts of ideas that influence our perceptions about what creativity is and our perceptions about ourselves. Thinking back to the questions from earlier, some of you may have felt out of place even thinking about creativity. We think that there are creative types, and we are or we are not one of those types. We think that creative people are misunderstood, and we don't want to be misunderstood. We may think that creative people are moody, emotional types. We think all sorts of other things that relate to the way that we think about creativity and about ourselves. However, those are cultural ideas about a very limited conception of what creativity is. We don't want to let those ideas interfere with the way that we use our minds and solve problems. That's really what creativity is. Problem solving. If you can work through a problem and solve it, you're creative. That's a natural human faculty that you have inherited from your ancestors. You just might not think about it that way. If you're skeptical about this, I understand. Most of us have spent many years developing the idea that we are not creative. I ask you to hold off judgment. Give this series of lessons an honest try. If you do, I think that you will surprise yourself. And along the way, you will learn a valuable, marketable skill. This series of lessons will introduce the creative problem-solving process. There are other versions of this process which you may encounter in your chosen field. It's also known as design thinking or simply as problem solving. All versions have similar steps. We need to understand the problem. We need to do some research and think through possible solutions. We need to narrow down our options and make some prototypes and handle any issues that come up. And then in the end, we make the thing. If we follow those steps thoroughly and carefully, the thing that we end up with is a thoughtful, well-designed artwork based on what we're learning in this course. That artwork will be better and more interesting than something you might have just thought up on your own. At the same time, you will have developed a new set of skills that is transferable to other fields and activities, including the field that you're heading into for your career. So don't worry over whether you're creative or not. You are. You just need to learn how to bring it out. Working through this process will help you to do that.